Do you want to elevate the look of your house numbers from this to this? I'll show you how to make it look upscale, and I'll go step by step. A link to the product is above and also in the description, so let's get after it. First thing we want to do is remove the old numbers, and they're usually stuck on there very easily with some glue. They may have some screws in them, or you can use a little piece like this to pry them up. This one's on here a little bit more. And then remove any of the old glue that's on here. Here's everything that I'm going to need to install the numbers on the house. Now, this is a hammer drill. I'm using that because I have a concrete block structure. You don't need a hammer drill if you're going into wood or siding. You need a 1/4-inch drill bit and a tape measure for measuring where you want the numbers to be mounted. Some blue painter's tape to hold the templates for each of the numbers. So this is what comes in the number kit. You're going to take the back off. You can see the directioners are here. This is the template for where you're going to drill the holes. And then to mount the number on the wall, what you're going to do is take the stake and you'll screw it into the number like this. Then you'll see that there's a little sleeve. This sleeve provides the spacing to the wall. And then this is the plastic wall anchor that goes in the wall, which will slide on like that, or you're going to tap that into the wall. This provides the spacing. And you'll see that this matches the blue tape I put on my drill. This is 1.25 inches from the end of the drill tip, so I don't drill too deep into the wall. I have my number templates, and I want to figure out where I want to place them on the wall. Do I want to put them close to the corner, or do I want to move them in? And then what I'm going to do is use the painter's tape to hold the templates and then drill these out. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this. I think that I want the letters to be about 6 inches from the edge of the wall. Maybe a little bit less. Why don't I go 4? It's up to you what your preference is. And I'm going to start out with the bottom number. I do want to mount this a little bit higher because they're hard to see from the street where the old position was. So I'm going to mount it up about here. And I want to make sure that I'm about 4 inches from the edge, like that. And if I want to take a certain height, maybe I'll line it up with the lamp post so that the bottom of the number is at the bottom of the lamp post, and see how that looks from the street. I had to center the 1 on the circular part of the 9. It looked a little goofy when it was off to the side. We have the number templates mounted to the wall using painter's tape. I have my drill set up with some blue painter's tape for the mark the depth of 1.25 inches. I'm going to go ahead and drill the number 1 at the top and then size it up before I move on to the other 3. Going to go ahead and put our plastic wall anchors in. Should just push right in. May need a hammer if you want to just tap them in a little bit, but those went in pretty easily. Now I'm going to grab my number, and remember we screwed the pegs on. Then you have this little sleeve that gives you the proper standoff. I'm going to put those, and now put the number up like this and slide in. Okay. May need a mallet. get those properly seat. If you don't have a mallet, you can put a 2x4 over it and hit it with a hammer. Looks pretty good. I'm going to move on to the other numbers. You've seen these raised numbers pretty much everywhere, but to take it to the next level, I want to illuminate it to make sure that fire rescue or my food delivery guy doesn't miss my address. I'm going to mount this about like that, and it will illuminate the house number at night. And for me, it works out well because I have west-facing sun. To mount the solar spotlight, what you're going to do is use this little template. These holes line up with the little holes in the slot here. And what I want to do is figure out where I want the solar spotlight, how far up. I'm thinking about like here, maybe 4 inches. I think this would be a little too close. I want to give it a little bit of a standoff like that. I'm going to go ahead and measure that and then get my template accordingly. Now I want to measure how far down from the bolt holes. It looks like it's about 1.5 inches. So if I want the bottom of this to be, let's say 4 inches, maybe I'm going to go 3.5 like that. Then I need to go another 1/2 inch, so that would be 5 inches to where I want my mounting hole. So we'll sit like that. Let's see how that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and put my template about 5 inches above the number 1, like this. I'm going to go 5 inches up, like that. Then I'm going to draw a line across. Then I'm going to take my template, put it right on that line. But what I want to do is line that up. So the center will be in line with the 1. So the center of the 1 is exactly 4.5 inches over from the side. So I want the center of this to be about 4.5 inches. I took my template, I measured a center line on that. I'm going to bring it down. Put the center line there. And there. Now I have my 2 hole marks. You could tape this up on here and drill, or you can just mark it with a pencil. Put those wall anchors in. Now I'm going to use these screws here. I'm going to use a Phillips head screwdriver. Now you want to leave these screws about a 1/4 inch off the wall so that you can slide the solar spotlight onto the hooks or these screws. And that way you can remove it. Since it comes in a 2-pack, if it dies out, you can always quickly replace it if needed. So I got about 1/4 inch standoff off the wall. And then I'm going to take this. You're going to see the little hooks here. And that will slide on like that. And you want to make sure that it's on. So I'm testing it. It's in the on position. And you'll see that it goes off when the sun hits it. So I can go ahead, install that. Maybe a little bit tighter screws. There, now it's nice and snug. Looks good. It's centered. The spotlight will come down. I'm going to clean this all up and let's check it out at night. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments. I hope you liked this video, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.